Well, I am back from the financial wars.
None the worse for wear, I
No,
hope.
ma'am, I was a smashing success. I'll tell you what, we're going to have more than enough vegetables on these shelves for the entire winter and at a wonderful price.
Wonderful. Oh.
You know what?
What?
I love being out in the countryside at this time of the year. And the leaves are just, they're just so breathtaking. And
I know.
And the air's so invigorating. It's fabulous.
It's my favorite time of the year, you know that?
You know, I'm sure that the country life is... It's no surprise that it's the healthiest way of life. I know that the farmers work hard, but, you know, it really must do them an awful lot of good. Am I being naive?
Yes, and I love you for it.
You know, it's not surprising you don't have a doctor in this place. Nobody never gets sick.
We're not that healthy.
You know what I mean. I mean, you know, illness can sometimes be a state of mind, not a physical disability.
Well, that's true, but there are always emergencies. And then there's no substitute for professional medical care.
I am sure that there has to be a doctor out there somewhere who would just love to set up a practice here in Pawtuck.
Now, all we have to do is find him.
Gee, life is really full of strange surprises. You never know what's going to happen, though, do you?
Yeah. Oh, speaking about surprises, I had a very nice one today. Do you remember that woman that came in? She was here about a week and a half ago. She fainted. She returned.
What?
I know. I mean, it just seems like this place has become a magnet for strangers lately, doesn't it?
Yes. Where's the woman now?
She went back home.
What did she want?
She mentioned something about moving here.
Dear God.
Something the matter with that?
No, I was just thinking, you know, it's such a nice little place, Pawtuck. It's a shame to see it start to get overcrowded.
Yeah. One more family won't hurt. Oh, and listen to this. Remember that elderly man? He came in here a couple of weeks ago. He was very friendly and he asked a lot of questions, remember?
No.
Well, of course you do. You sat and you talked with him. I mean, he was a very distinguished-looking man. He looked like chairman of the board or maybe a bank president.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. What about him?
An amazing coincidence. He was the father of this woman.
No.
Yes, she showed me a picture. Can you believe it? They're from the same family.
Hey, Dan.
Oh, Edward, what are you doing in this neck of the woods?
I was just marveling at all this new construction.
It's really going to be beautiful when it's finished, isn't it?
Yeah, what can you tell me about it?
Don't you read the papers? The waterfront redevelopment project's been front page news for weeks.
Well, I was just kind of hoping for a little inside information. You know, I need some angles, some inside stuff, not something just any old passerby might notice.
I can't help you, Edward.
Well, why not?
Well, for one reason, I'm on leave as building commissioner. But more importantly, it would be highly unethical to divulge such information.
Come on, Dan. I promise you, I'm not going to tell a soul.
Where did you get money to invest anyway? I thought you were broke.
Well, it's purely a temporary situation. I assure you, I'm going to get my fortune back any day now.
Tom, I want you to know that the Social Service Department is well aware of the problems of the union pensioners. The problem is finding out who's responsible for them, the city or the union itself.
Well, I'll say one thing for Duke Lavery. He's whipped that union into shape. He's taking much better care of the dock workers now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know exactly what he did. But whatever it was, he got results.
Well, you
and
know,
he has made a believer out of me.
well, Duke's becoming quite a popular guy. You're not the only one that thinks that. Dan, Edward, what are you two doing down here?
Why, just admiring all the new construction.
Yeah, well, that's Duke Lavery's work. Boy, he's turned this town around.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Robert.
Well, hello there.
You know my daughter, Robin. Well, how are you feeling, Dan?
Oh, much better, thanks. Haven't got all my strength back yet, but it's coming along.
When do you expect to resume your duties as building commissioner?
Not for a while yet. But I'm not worried. Everything's in good hands. David seems to be doing a fine job.
Yeah.
Everything's in excellent hands.
I'm sure you wouldn't have left it any other way. Which reminds me, you know, one of the few things I don't miss about Port Charles are the interminable council meetings.
Well, they haven't gotten any shorter since you left. I actually think there's a guy there that's the commissioner of boring speeches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, Tom? You must have a few talkers in that union of yours.
Oh, yeah, we've had a few guys who enjoy listening to themselves. That's another reason I like Duke Labor, because he gets right to the point. He's not full of hot air like a lot of politicians.
Well, that reminds me, I think my daughter has had enough of listening to grown-ups talk. We're off in search of adventure. I'm taking her to the zoo. Well, see you guys around. Bye-bye.
See you.
Right.
Eddie, Dan,
Well,
see you later.
see you, Lance.
We'll continue this game later on. Maybe we'll solve our mystery at the zoo.
What the hell's that man up to now?
Who, Robert?
Yeah. Didn't you notice how strangely he and that child were behaving? I mean, he was interrogating us almost like he was doing it for her benefit.
I've known Robert Scorpio long enough to know that he doesn't do anything without a reason. There's always a method to Scorpio's madness.